Now this you just got to work with, just a little bit at a time. I like to start towards the back, fold that rubber down in there. I don't use a screwdriver or anything sharp. It might puncture it. This is my little fiber sticks that I use for trim and molding and stuff, and I'll use it on this rubber piece here. I'm not going to use a sharp piece, I'm just going to use a flat, blunt piece to stick this guy in there. You can do most of it with your fingers. Just take your time, work with it. Get that rubber down in there. There she goes. I'm going to try this without getting over on the other side. Let me just see. Yep, okay. You can see it coming through there. The front part, there she goes. Now you can see how that protectant really helps out in putting that thing on there. Okay, now we'll just check and make sure that the rubber on the inside is all the way down and we're good to go. And on the top, that looks good. You can see how easy that just moves on there with that protectant. Makes a very easy job for that. Okay, so that looks good. The rubber on the inside is all the way down, the front and the back. Clutch withdrawal lever is moving nice and free. And again, like I say, before final assembly, putting the gearbox to the engine assembly, go ahead and take your rubbing alcohol and just make sure that there's no grease on here. And on final assembly, we're going to grease the splines and put a little grease around this where the pilot bearing, the pilot bushing goes on here. We'll just put a little grease on there to aid in installation. You'll want to put grease on this guy just before you put it in, and a little bit of grease if you can get your finger in on the clutch pressure plate, not the clutch pressure plate, the clutch disc on the splines on that, and the splines on here with grease, because that's going to be moving in and out, so you'll need grease on here. Not a lot, just enough to coat it a little bit, and it'll also help with the installation, because your clutch disc is going to be moving in and out on this on the splines here, so you'll need grease on that. Anything else, you want to make sure you take off the excess oil that we used here to put the front cover on, and just make sure that there's no oil in here. Oil is going to be bad if it gets on if it gets on your clutch disc or grease. So light greasing here, no grease or oil on here. Clean that up real good, and we put applied grease here to here, a little bit on the bolt here. So that's it. Let's get this baby's ready to roll. That's all there is to installing the clutch withdrawal lever.